Alright, sorry about that guys, I just realised I had my mic muted. So welcome to, as I was just saying, welcome to the NORL Racing League here as we watch on board with Nemesis at the Brands Hatch circuit, a 3.9 kilometre long circuit with 10 or 11 turns, I think it was. We look at Nemesis here as he goes on to his flying lap of the race. So could be in for something pretty interesting here. A lot of these guys I know have been doing some quick laps in time trial, and that could make for some interesting things to happen here. We'll just look on board here with Mark as he's just going through sector 2 now, warming up his tyres. A little bit on the grass there, but nothing to be concerned about. It's all green flag at the moment. Alright, so Mark is now on his flying lap. Galactic Skull's got invalid lap time there, as you can see on the bottom right there, for track limits. But yeah, we'll see what happens. He's got time, 3 minutes left in the session, so they should have enough time to get a couple of laps in. We see Death Star here, still in the pits. He's going to want to get out there pretty soon. And so we see Mark here going through the last turn in sector 1. Now I'm going through sector 2. So of course he's set the fastest sector 2, or sector 1, sorry, but at the moment we'll see what happens a bit later on. Alright, here we'll look at Denny Bin Lahar. We see that he's right up behind. I think that is Mark, which is interesting here because he's gonna suffer with any dirty air that car is throwing on. Which isn't really ideal, but at the same time on the straights he can get the slipstream. It'll just mean that he's got to overtake, and that'll slow both of them down. Could slow both of them down. Okay, we have Nemesis here who set his first, the first flying lap, or the first fastest lap, with a 1:27.478. We have Chazza just off the pace there at half a second off, and then you go to VSR Blizzard, nearly a whole second before you go down to Mark, who's 1.8. Beam Black with 2 seconds off the pace. Murcielago with 2.8. Anel Tanovic with 4.2. Kevin Jacobs is 4.3 seconds off the pace, and just behind that is Lord George with 4.34. So we've got some close splits there from NL to Lord George there, really close together. Denny Bin with 7.6 seconds off fast pace, and 2/10 off that. We've got Ragno, he's 1:35.37. So of course that leaves JF. But Ragno has just been bumped off by JFD there as we're talking. He said 1 minute 30.8, which is losing 4 seconds off the pace. Nemesis just beaten his best lap, and also is Chazza with a 4.92. We're missing something here. Galactic here we go. Death Star here is set a 1 minute 50, so 23.4 seconds off the pace. So now these guys doing laps will be able to complete another one. but we'll just have to see what happens here. Death Star looking to use the slipstream of the car in front of him, I'd say, to help try and improve his lap times through the straights, and hopefully, for his sake, he can overtake him on in a straight line. Okay, I just hear the game is blurring out my mic a little bit, so we'll just hopefully that fixes it up. Just let me know, mate, if that fixes it up there in the comments. Death Star's got Beam and Black right on his tail. Beam and Black. Let's see what Beam and Black can do. See if he can improve on his best time. I've only got 30 seconds. This is going to be enough time for him to finish their laps. And Beam and Black does not go quicker. Death Star did improve. They're nearly halving his time to the lead. Yeah, no worries. I see a couple of them there looking for me to put my mic up. So we've got a small little interlude here while we wait for the next part of the session, which will be the race. Just while these guys are doing that, I will just up my mic volume. Alright guys, just let me know if that's any better. Alright, so we go back here and to the track where they are all lined up. We'll just go to one of the onboards here. Just for the lights here, we see from Nemesis here who got pole. So your top 5 here. Your top 5 are Nemesis, VSR Blizzard, Mark, Chazza and Murcielago. So we are in for a good race. I wouldn't count out any of these races really, to be honest. Any of them come up here with a strong finish. Beamer Black there is only in 6th, so he's one to watch out for. He is a former I think GT3 champion, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But Nemesis here, probably the favourite to win here. He is the champion of the Formula C series. As the lights come on, and it is 4 red lights and green light racing. Here we go. They are all going to go barreling down to turn 1. Nemesis here with a great start and gets the lead here. Let's see, where is everyone else? Here we have Beamer Black going side by side. And this could be an interesting race. Let's go. So Beamer Black has lost the position to JFD, but he has regained that. This looks like an interesting battle that's unfolding. And JFD and Beamer Black collide. Nothing too bad. Send him sideways a little bit, slows him down just slightly. So it shouldn't be too bad on him, but you know, this is racing. This is to be expected. Here we have VSR battling here with Chazza. They are side by side through this turn. We have NL Tanovic. It looks like he's gotten a penalty for something. Not really sure what is happening there. We go back up here to VSR to see what's happening here. You can see that Nemesis has brought out a 3-second lead over Murcielago, so that is exactly what Nemesis has been wanting to do here today. A lot of these guys are very quick, so really any of them could win this. Even anyone that didn't qualify inside that top 5 could quite easily come through and win. So this has been a great start for him. We look on board here with Murcielago as he goes up the inside of Mark. We look on Mark, sorry, as he goes up the inside of Murcielago. So I said that the other way around. Okay, I hear see here, Nibbler was saying here in the comments that Mark was the GT3 champion. My bad, that is. But yeah, Mark is in P2 right now, so he's going to look to try and close that 3-second gap. But Nemesis has eked out from the rest of the field, which is going to be a huge task. Hoping for him that he can do that and make Nemesis really work for this one. Okay, so Murcielago there is now chasing after VSR. So should be interesting to see what he can do here. Hopefully we can see some good on. Okay, I'm just hearing here in the messages from Kevin Jacob. He's been flipped in the start. Sally missed that. Didn't get a chance to see that one. Really good to see. But we're going to ride on board with Chazza now as we go down this straight. See if we can manage something here on Murcielago. He's got the slipstream. He's got to see who's going to be the last and leg breakers really. Remember, no setups for these guys, so these guys run with a completely stock car, so there's no advantage from setups or time doing setups. It all comes down to the performance of the car and how these guys race it. So we could be in for something spectacular realistically here. But you never know. So we had a small battle going on, another battle going on down the order a bit here, around this area with NL Tenovic, Galactic Skull and JFD, all in a similar area of tarmac, just behind the main group. Okay, so we see Murcielago, Mark and VSR here are closing the gap on Nemesis there slightly. It is slowly creeping into the 2-second mark. So these guys are obviously starting to pick up the pace. Hopefully they don't want to do too much battling, otherwise it's going to help Nemesis get away here. But Marcus sets the fastest delta time there in Sector 1. We'll just check on Nemesis all the way up there. He's got to really keep it clean and manage that 3-second lead that he's got for the next 9.5 minutes. We haven't... okay, who knows places yet. So Murcielago and Ragno, it says here that they're pretty close, but as you can see on the screen, it's really not as close as what it was suggesting there momentarily. Murcielago just set the best, his personal best sector time for Sector 2 as he heads into Sector 3, about 6 seconds off the pace at the moment. So we go down near the Galactic Skull, who is chasing down the Naltanovic. He'll be looking to get past, maybe on a straight into turn 1, wouldn't be a terrible spot if he can get the inside. But we'll see what happens here. You see that NL just slightly runs slightly wide there and gives Galactic Skull the inside line, but can Galactic Skull hold on the inside? No, he can't, and NL manages to hold it around the outside. Come in. This could be some a thrilling battle. See here as we ride along on here with Galactic goes to the outside. Nothing doing there. He goes for the switchback, comes on the inside, they collide. A little bit of a hop there for NL. They're still side by side as they go into the next turn. Galactic manages to get him. Is NL going to be able to fight back with anything here? NL is very close to the back of his car there. and Altanovic there goes off track. Look on board in the cockpit here. This is what he is seeing at the moment, is you see Galactic's rear end is slightly starting to get a bit further away. Now just set his fastest sector 2 time with a just a bit over a second off the pace. Yeah, Niblo, I'll definitely do that. I'll probably do it between this race and the next qualifying. It's been annoying me too a bit. Alright, as we go back up the field, Murcielago has really reeled in, Mark has really reeled in Nemesis for this one here. You see Nemesis there, you can actually see him up the road there, so he's only 1.8 seconds away. Go back to trackside there for you so we can get that some TV sort of shot. Just excuse me for a second. Okay, so you see Mark is really bringing in that, and so now he's creating a gap to VSR. VSR he is 3.6 away, so VSR couldn't follow Mark, which would have really made it interesting for top 3 positions there, 3 podium positions if they could have all followed. So just having a look at penalties and everything, so you see Nemesis and Mark have got a 1 second penalty, so they're really going to want to keep that in mind. Make sure they get outside of a second. We go down here to Ragnar, who's got a 3 second, who's just gone up against Beamer Black, Murcielago, who's got a second, and NL Tanovic, who has 32 second time penalty. I don't know how the game has worked that. But it has somehow go on board here with Beamer Black and Ragnar, who are battling close, really close. We're fairly close here. It's probably one of the closest battles on track at the moment. Beamer Black here just slightly pulling away. So JFD is on the back of NL Tanovic here. We'll be looking to, obviously doesn't need to overtake with that 32 time penalty, second time penalty that he's managed to acquire somehow. But we'd definitely like to, so we can move up in this race and maybe try and go for a Black Skull. Just under 5 minutes of racing here now left to go in this one. So we'll see what happens. But you can see here JFD is definitely on the back of him and definitely gaining. So you could see something happen here. Maybe into turn 1, I'm going to say, or down that main straight on the slipstream. That is my bet for where I'd be definitely trying to make something happen. I wouldn't do it through those turns there. But we'll just see what happens. JFD just sets his best last sector, which is 1.3 seconds off the pace. JFD does just go off track completely there. Maybe I've been having this battle on. Oh no, I haven't. No, I've had it right. So JFD is still behind NL Tanovic here. Very close. You see up if you look up the leaderboard there on the time trials, Mark is really catching up to Nemesis there. He's getting within under a second sometimes in those splits as you see them. But this is the battle that is happening at the moment, and JFD goes to go on the outside of NL Tanovic here, but doesn't quite make it happen. But goes for the switchback and gets underneath him. So a little bit of contact, not the cleanest overtake in the world, but nothing too much to stress about. So we'll try and keep an eye on that one. You guys in gaming now. Yeah, I see that battling first taking place. I hadn't forgotten about it. Just looking at that other one there. We see VSR now has closed the gap here, so this could be a three-way battle if they can make up enough time in the 2 minutes and 40 seconds that are left. But we see Mark could come away with a win if he can get hold of Nemesis. We've been seeing that it's taking a couple of laps from this point to make an overtake stick. So it seems, just to get that opportunity, but you know, one mistake from Nemesis under pressure from Mark could make it happen. It's really interesting to see how Nemesis broke away a 3-second. Mark just set his best sector 1 there, which is just half a second off the pace of the fastest one. I'm not sure who set that one anymore. Go for the onboard view here, and this is what Mark is seeing there. This is the view that Mark's using, I think. You see he takes a much tighter line here and gains a lot of ground on Nemesis. So something to be said there, that tighter line could be worth taking around that turn 1. Mark nearly goes up the inside of Nemesis around that sweeping turn. A lot of sweeping turns, a couple of tighter ones here. But you can see he was right on the back of him. Nemesis goes off track, and that is pretty well gifted Mark P1. It ended up being a really easy overtake there from Mark. And VSR gets past Nemesis as well, so Nemesis has thrown away that win, well, what could have been a win anyway with the last 50 seconds of the race. All he had to do was hold on, but VSR is closing on Mark, so even this battle here has not really been sorted out. There's still a battle for first going on as VSR sets the best sector through sector 2 by 0.02 of a second there, so he's quick. He's really looking at a move here. I don't know where he's thinking he might go for it, but turn 1 looks like if Mark doesn't take that nice tight line, turn 1 would be a good bet. VSR just trying to get in that slipstream. Mark's trying to take the inside line. They nearly go they pretty well go side by side to that, but VSR can't find a way on the inside. 5 seconds left of racing, so this lap will be the last one. VSR takes that tighter line through there and manages to get P1, but it is not over. Mark has still got his nose in there for the inside of the next one. Mark takes P1 as VSR is now in P2. VSR is fighting back, seeing if he can hold around the outside. No, he cannot. It's brilliant stuff here for the last lap. You couldn't want anything else from this. VSR just settles into P2 momentarily, but he can't be settled in for too long as they are coming in down the back straight here, probably the longest straight of this circuit. VSR moves to go to the outside. Mark covers him off there. This is super close, just for reference as to how close this stuff is here right now. Oh, they're side by side. They're side by side to there. VSR takes P1. Just change the camera angle slightly here, and we'll look from Mark here. As you see, they are super close. This is super tight stuff. You couldn't do this with the average racer that races online. As many of you would know, you would end up just getting bunted off the track. Mark and Blizzard are getting away here a little bit, and VSR will get P1, Mark P2, and Nemesis P3. No, Chazza P3. Okay, Nemesis had that 1 second time penalty, so Chazza has managed to get P3, Nemesis P4. Murcielago is going to steal P5, Beamer Black's P6, Galactic Skull 2 in P7, JFD I would say shall be P8. I don't see an Altanovic catching up to him there at all. So we have JFD P8, Denny Bin Lahar in P9. Yeah, so Ragno's still on track for some reason. Upside down there, as you can see. But well done to VSR there for the first win of the season. Of course, we have the next race, so another 5-minute qualifying, and yeah, another 5-minute qualifying, and another 15-minute race. But this time with weather on set to like a pretty much random weather. So again, could you up a bit more, because you guys seem to say it's a bit quieter. I am waiting on a new mic to come, so just waiting for that to come, hopefully soon. Also gonna get rid of the pop-ups, hopefully that'll Alright, there we are. So again, going here for the second race of the VS of the NORL. Of course, that is the Nemesis Online Racing League. So as you can see here, 15-minute race again, but the weather forecast is unknown, so we could have literally anything. For all we know, it is going to be snowing, which could make it interesting. And Ragno is now calling me Toby, and I am not Toby. I don't know who Toby is. I guess Toby must be one of the previous guys. Niblo's saying, "Oh, gaming now's Toby, right?" Okay. Right, sorry about that. Is the mic any better, guys? I've just turned it all the way up, so hopefully that's better. Niblo reckons it's 100% confirmed rain. Let's hope for these guys it's not a combination of rain and fog. That looks like it could be terrible. Apparently, according to Baked in the comments here, Toby died, and Kevin's just confirming that rain and fog is horrible. So we'll just see what happens here. 9 turns it turns out, so it is raining, as they as a lot of them said. So Nemesis is appearing to be the first one out of the garage, and I am still getting pop-ups. I really tried to fix that. Death is still in the pits, but Anel, Tanovic and Galactic Skull are now going on their outlaps, as well as Kevin Jacobs, as well as Nemesis and Mark and VSR, who was the winner of our last race. So VSR will have a little bit more pressure on him. He will be expected to win, of course. It is going to be interesting to see what happens. So I don't know who I'd be betting on this, but it could go to anyone, and I'm sick of receiving messages. I really thought I fixed that by blocking those pop-ups, but that's my fault anyway. I'll make sure it's fixed for the next race. As we look through here, you can just see that absolute spray from the tyres. Ragno, Niblo wants you to shine just for later on. Yeah, so pretty much as what Niblo was saying here, this race is pretty much going to be a war of attrition. There is no damage on, so you can flip the car 20 times and hit a wall. As Lord George just comes out of the pit now with 3 minutes of running left in this session. We have some cars that are on their flying laps, such as an Alternavik here. This camera goes out of focus for some weird reason there. So yeah, the lap times are going to be a lot slower than what you saw in the drive for obvious reasons. We have a car not moving here. I'm not really sure why. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, it's Lord Geordie's obviously come off the track and spun out or something here. Just waiting for a clear bit of track so that way he can rejoin safely. Just in, oh, another 2 cars. I'd say that was contact there between, who would that have been? Possibly Chazza. I'm not sure, maybe VSR there, I'm not 100% certain which two that was that had collided, but that was definitely something big. You can't really predict what's going to happen in the qualifying. So a minute 50 seconds left, no times had been set so far, so literally a 2-minute time could, the slowest lap time of all, could potentially put someone on pole. Let's have a look at how Beamer Black's going and see what's happening with him here. So that spray looks amazing as you're watching the cars go flying past, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to see going for the first few, for the first lap or two while they are all still bunched up and while they're following someone else. But that spray for later on, those guys at the back further, it's going to make it horrible for them. So we have our first lap times here. Nemesis again goes on to pole with a 1 minute 37.5, but a lot closer to him is Mark this time. Just under 2/10 off the pace. Before there's a big gap to an Alternavik in third with a 1 minute, with a 1.3 seconds off the pace, then down to Galactic, which is 1.4, setting a 1:38.9. So those top four, within a second and a half of each other. Obviously race pace often tends to be different. There's 30 seconds left in the session. Beamer Black is 2.8 seconds off the pace. Ragno is yet to set a time as well as Death Star and Lord George. So hopefully these guys can do something, and I just looked away as Lord George there spun out, so giving him a bit too much gas. Death Star goes across the line, but I don't think his lap was valid, so he should have enough time to set another lap here. VSR Blizzard's in 12th there with a 1 minute 57.5, so that's not what you would be expecting to see from him at all, which isn't going to be, it ain't great for him, as he was our last race winner. Right on board here with Death Star going slowly. Lord George just parked up there on the side of the road, so I'd say he's just retired here. We should get a good shot here of the car coming past. No, on the grass. So a lot of the guys going into the pits now. VSR Blizzard has now taken pole. Away from Nemesis, so VSR definitely the one to watch in this race. As he sets a 1 minute 35.8, which is a pretty large chunk taken away from Nemesis's time there of the 1:37.5, a whole 1.6 seconds faster. Hey, Niblo, just for future reference there, Chaz, sorry, Niblo is giving you a little bit of slack there, saying when he said time to shine, he didn't mean 13 seconds off the pace, which is now turned into 15. But Chaz still an awesome driver, so he could still come back in and take this one. Again, as we look through the standings here, VSR Blizzard in pole, followed by Nemesis and Mark. Let's have a look at our top 5. Yeah, VSR Blizzard, Nemesis, Mark, JFD and Murcielago. So we could be in for some good racing here, as you saw VSR, Nemesis and Mark at the end of the last race. Really close. Just look on board with VSR right now for the starts, that way we can see the track. Really sorry about those messages popping up. I had a look earlier, I thought I fixed it up, but clearly not. We're literally just waiting on the lights now for the second race of round 1. I really wish these messages would piss off. Just 14 minutes to go. Alright, and we are ready to start our race. VSR, watch out for Nemesis here off the start. We had a great start. We got 4 red, 3 lights and green lights, and away we go. They seem to have gotten away fairly cleanly at the moment. Nemesis has taken pole. VSR in P2, JFD P3. We have a Murcielago, I believe, going up the inside there. And, he hit the wrong button. We'll have a look down the order a bit here and see if we can find anyone who's... What we have here, Chaz are going around the outside of Death Star. And, oh, massive crash there. That was Beamer and Lordjord, I believe. And then Lordjord goes into the fence. No, not Lordjord. Who was that? Let's see. I think that might have been Ragnar, who goes straight into the fence, straight on there. Beamer Black there, of course, right behind Lordjord. So that's my bad there, Lordjord. Yeah, so right behind him here, will he go for a move up the inside? But you can see, we had a look, we see Chaz look on Beamer Black, and we have a car spun around facing the wrong way. That was Mark. So Mark has ended up at the back of the grid, so this is going to be interesting. We have VSR right on the back of Nemesis, and Nemesis hasn't gotten a chance to get away with that lead like he did at the start of the race. We see those two though pulling away from the rest of the field, so they seem to be in a league of their own. We will get to watch Mark hopefully carve his way through the field and maybe get to see some pretty cool overtakes. But we'll just see how that goes. You see VSR right up the back of him. Literally right at the back of the Nemesis here. And so one small mistake and VSR should be able to get him, assuming he doesn't get tangled up in it too. And you see VSR takes a much tighter line and nearly gets him there. Very close racing between these two. Just less than a tenth in it, I'll definitely be saying that. I reckon VSR might get him onto the turn 1 if he can't get him before that. He just seems to take a tighter line than what Nemesis does, but Nemesis is still fighting here. Lord George sets the best delta lap with sure. Kevin Jacobs is making a pit stop, which is interesting. I wonder what's going on there. Or maybe, surely he hasn't if he's there. The Lord George right up behind Kevin Jacobs there. Something's definitely happened to Beamer here. Mark's moved up 2 spots into P12 as he's now on the back of Denny Abin Lahar. Mark's going to want to make this move happen soon so he can try and start catching up as far as he can, minimise any damage that has happened here. Murcielago is now catching up to the back of VSR. So this should make it a 3-way, 3-horse race. Let's see how that all pans out, and keep an eye on that one too as it develops. You see Nemesis and VSR going side by side. Nemesis is on the inside, so he might be able to, and got the inside for the next corner, so he should be able to hold this around the inside of the track. Murcielago is caught right up now. Them two going side by side through those corners has managed to make that a little bit slower and help Murcielago to catch up. VSR to set the quickest sector 2 lap time, but that is not the important thing right now. You just saw VSR and Nemesis going side by side through those 2 turns near the end of sector 2. So it is really on Kevin Jacobs. VSR just set the fastest lap time of 1:35.8, and you have Murcielago now trying to go up the inside of VSR. We'll see what happens here. VSR can hold that around the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think Murcielago has got him, and yes, he has. So Murcielago is now going to get a chance to have a crack at Nemesis, but these two battling is going to help Nemesis get away. So they're going to want to avoid that as VSR tries to go up the inside of Murcielago, and they are now side by side going down the straight. A slight little kink in the road. Murcielago has still got his nose in front, but there is nothing separating these two, and Murcielago manages to hold that position as he gets the inside of that next turn. But you can see these two very racy. VSR is very racy there. Slightly goes off the track. It's a little bit of grass, which won't help his tyres out too much. They are running dry now, so it started to rain it was raining at the start of this race, but has started to go dry. Definitely some interesting stuff going on here. Sorry, yeah, quality was wet, racing is dry. That is 100% my mistake there. Yeah, thanks Niblo, I'll do that for next race. So VSR still on the back of Murcielago. Really what they want to do is try and slipstream each other down the straights to slingshot each other past and try and catch up to Nemesis that way maybe, but there is 8.5 minutes of running left in this race. That's, obviously neither one wants the other one to win. They want to try and maximise points here, so the only thing they can do is just hope that Nemesis makes a mistake. As you saw at the end of the last race there, a little bit of pressure can really make a difference. Ragno's under pressure now from Galactic Skull to they are going side by side. Galactic Skull, I believe, is on the outside there. Can he hold it? I don't think he quite has, but he's still close as Ragno puts the wheel on the grass a couple of times. And now Galactic Skull is getting overtaken by Mark. Mark did a superb job coming back into this one. Spun down to P13, is now up to P8. Having just gone past Galactic Skull, and we have a huge crash there between Ragno and Kevin Jacobs. That was huge. We managed to see that from the perspective, well, from Mark's cam there. As you see, Mark has gone up to P6. Kevin, oh, we see another attack here from Beamer Black. Beamer Black has just gone past JFD. Very, very good racing here. We got up here to Ragno, who's being attacked by Kevin Jacobs. Kevin Jacobs runs wide onto the sand, and Beamer Black goes even wider and lets back through JFD. So you can see these guys are now catching back up to Nemesis. Nemesis is unable to keep that lead, keep extending that lead. So I'm just hearing here from Lord Jord that he and Ragnar had contact into the wall, and he chose to retire. You see VSR is all over the back of Nemesis. This could be some great stuff here. Will he get him into this turn? I don't think he will. He's very close. I reckon he's going to go for, if he can keep that really tight line into turn 1, I reckon he might get Nemesis on the inside. But he's going to go for the outside. He's going to try and make the move stick around the outside of Nemesis. Doesn't happen. He might have him here. Nemesis goes to the inside. Nemesis has got the inside line, so we should be safe here from VSR. VSR does a switchback. Nemesis runs wide, and now VSR is on the outside again. VSR breaks early, maybe trying another switchback, doesn't work. Murcielago is now catching up to the back of these guys as they start to battle again. You see VSR and Blizzard now really close to the back of Nemesis. He's going to try again around the outside, I think it's going to be. For some reason the map's turned off. Yeah, another move around the outside I don't think it's going to stick, but they still wheel to wheel. Nemesis has the inside for the next turn as well. See VSR grabs a bit of grass. Murcielago has gotten right back up into the battle. So these two battling is really helping Murcielago. Murcielago is really going to want to keep that going. You see, maybe he looks at poking his nose in there, decides against it. Murcielago now right on the back of VSR. So this is now again a three-way battle with nearly 5 minutes to go. See here. Murcielago's now got to run on VSR, and Nemesis cuts to as far to the inside as he can. Murcielago might get a nice double overtake here. Touches Nemesis. Pretty solid bump, but no, he only gets VSR there. VSR now does the switch back, but he gets caught behind Nemesis. It is 3 wide into that turn. VSR is got Murcielago back. Murcielago went very wide. VSR is now in the back, right on the back of Nemesis, but Murcielago is still in there. So this is still on a three-way battle for the win. So you really want to see Chazza is now catching up a little bit, so this could be interesting if Chazza manages to catch up. Another very fast racer. Mark is in P5, so Mark's going to want all 4 of them in the battle so he can try and steal a podium. But with 3.5 minutes left, it could be interesting. Murcielago just goes up into P1. Great little double overtake there on Nemesis and VSR. VSR still in P2, so Nemesis the big loser out of that one. But he's still got VSR right on his tail. We're going to soon find out how he handles pressure, and for his sake, I hope it is very well. We'll just see what happens. Chazza is catching up. You see there, Chazza in frame now, getting really close to the back of Nemesis. VSR is still all over Murcielago. He must be feeling this heat from, although it's a rear engine car. You know, you'd have to think that Murcielago can really feel the heat from the engine. He's going to look for a dive down the inside here and try and, he goes wide. Murcielago goes wide there and gives VSR the lead now. Chazza just got Nemesis. Saw that in the background there. So Chazza is now running P3. This is brilliant stuff. A 4-way battle for the win with 2.5 minutes to go. So we could be, who knows, anything could still happen here. Chazza might come away and get a win. Which would be awesome for Chazza, awesome for viewing. VSR also could eke out this lead, so they don't want to battle too much yet. They just want to settle in for a pace. Nemesis now, as you saw there, going for a move on Chazza, but couldn't quite make it stick. Mark's got a fair bit of clean air now. He's got at least 3 seconds to Ragno. So he's just going to have to try and hope that these guys battle so much that slows them all down. Murcielago now having a crack at VSR. VSR puts his wheels on the ground. Nemesis, as you see there, has swapped positions with Chazza again. So that's really slowing those two down. But what they really want is for VSR and Murcielago to do some battling and to slow each other down there to try and bring him back into this one. VSR really close, still close to the back of Murcielago there. Murcielago takes a much better line through that one. You can see here as we go to the bumper cam and bonnet cam there, he's really close to the back of him. So these guys super clean. When you do this on online racing and you get shunted straight off the track into the wall from behind or flipped or something to that effect. You just see them now coming towards the end of sector 1. Chazza in P3, Nemesis P4, Murcielago and VSR still P1 and 2. As VSR has a look on the inside, but it might be just covered off enough from Murcielago. Still right up his rear diffuser there. This is really close battling here. 24 seconds to go, 20 seconds to go in this race. So it is still really on. Niblo's cheering for Chaz here. So Chaz is in P3. So he should be able to hold that from Nemesis as you look down the track here. Nemesis a little ways off. Chaz there, just fallen off the pace. VSR has got a time penalty, so for him to win this, he's going to have to eke out a lot of Murcielago. Is going to have to make a mistake and let him get away with it. Oh, they are side by side, VSR and Murcielago. Murcielago has the inside for the next turn. VSR trying to go around the outside, can just keep his front wheels in. Another inside here for Murcielago. I think the next one is inside for VSR, I think. Yeah, I do believe. So Chaz is now starting to catch up. So these two battling, don't want to battle too much, otherwise Chaz might steal the win off of this lap. It has to be done this lap, so he's got another sector to do it. A sector and a little bit to steal the race. VSR in P1, if Chaz can even just get close enough, Chaz will still P2 with that time penalty that Murcielago has. VSR sets a fastest sector 2 time. Chaz and Murcielago now look like they might be about to have a battle. As we look on from Murcielago's point of view, look on from Murcielago now. But I don't think they are. So VSR has come off the track. And Nemesis might still will still P3 as Murcielago is P1, Chazza P2, Nemesis P3, VSR P4, Mark in P5. Great recovery drive there from Mark. Ragno in P6, Galactic Skull in P. No, Galactic Skull's P6. My bad there. Beam and Black P7, Ragno is P8, and Eltanovic P9. Kevin Jacobs P10, JFD is P11, Denny Abin Lahar P12, and Death Star comes across to round out our grid in P13. But really well fought there from Murcielago, managed to get the win. Chazza did a decent recovery drive there to get from his spot on the grid. Yeah, Niblo's saying that VSR bottled that last corner there, which he did, so Awesome racing still though, great to see. So this is just the first round, so we can expect some plenty more big things here as we look through the grid there. Murcielago, Chazza and Nemesis taking out P1, 2 and 3, taking out the podium. As I said, VSR obviously had that little crash on the first corner, on the last corner of that race there, and doesn't get that podium. I reckon he probably would have got that podium without that, and with that time penalty. So this has been the round 1 of the Nemesis Online Racing League. We will be back next week, same time, 8:30 on the Wednesday for the UK viewers, and if you're an Australian viewer such as myself, we will be back at 7:30 on Thursday morning. Yeah, I'm going to be signing off now, and have a great week, guys. Hopefully some nice close racing, and I'll see you guys next week.